I know a lot of you have a strict rule that maybe you've included in your rubric where if a company has had a recall, you do not consider it, or you have a negative mark for that, and that's perfectly fine. I do want to give you a little food for thought on that though. There is something called economy of scales, and there's something called statistical significance. And so what that means is if you have a really large company that is producing lots and lots and lots of volume, and this has to do with anything, doesn't just have to be pet food, it can be anything. The more volume you produce, the more likely you're going to have certain anomalies. And so, for instance, if I have a family that has a 2-cat family, I might not necessarily see some of the weird diseases. So for example, that 2-pet family may never see diabetic in their pet, in their cat. But if I have a cat family that is monitoring, let's say, a whole colony, and they have 30 cats, there's probably statistically a good chance that they might have a cat that has diabetes, because we're just playing the numbers game. And so that's kind of what we call economy of scale. The more you have of a product, the more likelihood you are going to see some of these anomalies occur. That's when we have to factor in the statistical significance. And so let's say you have a company that produces 100 bags of food a year, and one of those bags has a recall for whatever reason. That's more statistically significant than if you have a company that produces 1 million bags of dog food and has a recall on 10. Yes, 10 is more than one, but statistically, that 10 is less significant than the one. Now, I'm not going to go into it any further than that, but that is something to have for food for thought, because you don't want to blanket just discredit a company because they've had a recall. You might want to consider why the recall happened, how it was dealt with, the economy of scale, and that kind of a thing, because you don't want to necessarily make your pool so much smaller than it needs to be.